Come in, my little lovely little batlings. I'm going to do the demo today. Oh, that's supposed to be muted. As you can tell, I monitor the Twitch stream in the background now just to make sure it's actually running correctly on PC because I've had some issues with that. So that's a 10 out of 10. I'm doing this demo today instead of on the normal days I do stuff, and very specifically, it's more because I don't know how long the demo is going to be. The only thing it says is it's 25 rounds. I'm assuming rounds means days. That is the best I can give you. I'm going in blind. I will say that this is point and click, and it's side scroller for some of the stuff that happens. Neither of those things actually appeal to me. So I'm going into this with trying to keep an open mind because this is not my normal genre, and the art style is not my normal art style. However, this is a game that I've seen a lot about. It's a game that I know there are some notable people behind. Um, so I want to give it a try because this one also offers more customization than I've seen out of some games. And of course, this is the demo for it, what eventually is going to be a lot larger version of it. But I think there's more comprehensive like genetics when it comes to certain things and stuff like that. I don't know the full ifs and buts of everything. However, again, I'm going to try to keep an open mind with this because this is definitely not my genre. When I saw it the first time, I was like, I might play it. I don't know if I'd stream it. I am streaming the demo because I do think the concept is really good, and I think there's a lot of people who'd actually really enjoy this concept, and I do think this is a bit all ages friendly. So I absolutely want to get more notoriety to this game that I think it deserves from what I've seen. Now, there is a thing that does interest me within the things that they've listed, and that is that eventually there is a way that you can upload your own textures or colors. And I think that has to do with tack and certain things like that. But as somebody who's done a lot of graphic art myself, that has me really curious if that's something that I could eventually actually mess with. And that would get me a little bit more interested in it. That said, I am again going to try to keep an open mind and see how I do like this, but I don't know if it's going to be the 2 hours that I normally stream. That's why I'm doing it today, not on the day that I do have a stream set up for now in the schedule, because I really don't know um, if this is going to be like more. Hmm, how do I want to word it? Like in my head, I knew what I went to say and I just lost it. I don't know if each day is going to be longer, kind of like I've seen Rancho Rivershine compared to some other games, or if the days are actually going to be fairly short. I'm going to be rushed on time, and it's going to be 25 in-game days of just being rushed on time, which would make something a lot slower. Um, I have a sinus infection of some sort or something. I have had it. That is why I didn't stream last week. I actually still have it today, which is probably why I have brain fog right now, like really bad. Um, Not much I can do about it. It is basically entirely based on the fact that our weather is being very wishy-washy. We get rain and wet and moisture and cold, and then we'll have some days of sunshine and it gets a little warmer but not super warm, and then it goes back to rainy and cold, which is not normal for where I live. And I am not doing so good with that. Ooh. We'll name it that. That way I know it's a stream one. Even though you finally did it. You bought a piece of land with your savings and left your job to build a new life around horses. You are currently on the ferry bringing you and your horse to your new home. Um, that's right. There's not going to be a lot of, like, customization, I don't think. Is that the only one that has freckles? I think so. We also get to customize our horse, I guess, is the next one. Oh, there's nothing in purple. Oh, the only two boot colors aren't what I would like either. That might go a little bit better with the red for now. Okay, that's what I look like. The ferry arrived at the town near your home. Next, the horses will be brought ashore. Which of the horses is yours? Okay, so we're going to get a very basic, absolutely no mutations. Liver, chestnut, chestnut, bay, or gray. Doesn't look like we have a horse with... In the bay would have, for genetics' sake, would most likely have a black gene, possibly the gray does. And then 2 chestnuts. I'm actually amazed that this one's a liver chestnut and not a solid black horse, because that's generally kind of a chestnut, a bay, a gray, and a black horse. Very specifically, a black, bay, and chestnut are your 3 starters for what all of your coat colors, which are mutations or dilutions, are based on. And I'm kind of amazed that we're missing one of them, though technically the genetic variety is all here. I'm not going to play around with like, okay, this would be recessive or dominant genes or anything that way, because that gets a little bit more like really into it. Oh. Oh, that is very loud. I'm going to have to adjust the volume. Like I said, it is very side-scrollery.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm also noticing I don't think the voice matches necessarily what you may or may not have picked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so space moves the sign.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, W is jump. That is so weird. I'm so used to space being like the default jump for everything. Now, does it make sense that W is jump? Yes, but very odd as well. Because I need settings. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. Water your horse by zooming it into the stable, building and dragging the water bucket to the water trough. Also drag some hay from the storage into the hay rack. Ooh. You can see how much feed you had in the storage right next to the stable. If it is empty, you may have to buy more feed in town. Your horse always needs access to water and fiber, meaning either hay or grazing the field. You can feed additional grains if the horse gets ridden a lot and needs more nutrition, but it still always needs high fiber content like hay or grasses. Yes, that is correct. Actually, a lot of this is a bit more, I think, factually based and a bit more like true what you're going to see in like a stable and actually caring for a horse. Not sort of like it's the more the nitty gritty that kind of gets ignored with a lot of other horse games, so that's nice. When you announced that you wanted to start your own yard, your friends gifted you some books that they thought might be useful to you. Go to the main house and look at your library. There may be some helpful information there. You don't have to read everything right now, just have a look so you know where to search if you're looking for some information. I think the first thing we need to do is brush you. Yeah, we're gonna have to do the other one in a second. There we go. Okay, so we only have to do one hoof for that, which is interesting. Okay, so we want to zoom in. Yeah, we definitely have to get more feed, I think. Don't need that just yet. I wonder if we'll eventually be able to kind of like expand on the stable. I mean, I'm assuming, yeah, we're gonna be able to expand and build. This is definitely not the best. Okay, so I said the library. Horses need roughage. Yep, this means hay or grazing the fields and water every day. If a horse does a lot of work, you'll need to feed it additional grains or it'll lose weight. Hay can be provided by dragging hay. Yep. Grooming. Horses usually don't care how dirty they are when they're not being ridden. However, the hooves need to be clean of stones when the horse gets worked in order to prevent hoof abscesses. Hello, welcome into the vampiric garden. Oh, there goes Jasper. Maybe? Yep, there goes. I don't know why this reads so weird to me. Sometimes I wonder if it's been translated. The flow of the words is really weird, but then again, I'm also thinking this has been translated, and this is definitely the demo, so I'm wondering if some of this will change. The area where saddle goes has to be free of dirt, currycomb, and laying smooth brush when you go riding to avoid saddle sores. Okay, so injuries and illnesses is also another thing that you can look into. Okay, so that means it's also something that's going to be a mechanic. You can handle basic medical care like disinfecting superficial wounds yourself, but for more severe conditions, you have to call a vet. Again, actually something I'm really interested in, that this game has gone through and it's like, hey, even though the art style and some of this would definitely appeal more to like a younger generation, you still have a lot of the stuff that I think a lot of other equestrian games kind of pulled away from or didn't want to get into like the nitty gritty of it. Like this stuff is something that's really nice to actually see in an equestrian game and to have be a thing. I'm actually really happy to see like, okay, you have to think of injuries and illnesses. You actually have to put more thought into like what you're feeding your horse, and like if you're going to need to feed more based on how much you're working it, and that sort of stuff. Yeah, like this gives you, not going to go through and read every single one of these right now, but this gives you everything that you're basically going to come across. Yeah, then you get into some of the stuff where I'm like, this makes me think maybe a little bit more adult based, but you're still like getting into a lot of the stuff that would make sense that you just really don't see normally. Select the build area, or the area to the lower left of the stable, and select the build button to clear space and set up a little arena. It takes overnight to build or upgrade a building. When you're done with everything you want to do today, click on a new day at the top. Okay, but I think I do need to go into town. Yes, I don't think that's available today. I'm reading this wrong somehow. Then we're left to this table. We use the build button. Assuming that's the build one. Okay, clear those. Yeah, that is not very helpful on my screen right now. I'm assuming it's the upgrade. Possibly is what we're talking about. It's not available today, which means it's going to be available later. Can I go? Oh, okay, so it is literally, I'm not actually quote unquote going into town. This is Horses of Hoofprint Bay, and I wouldn't exactly say that it's a bad game. This is a bit better than I've seen for some other ones, to be fair, where there's more stuff in it. I'm not the biggest fan of the art style, but I'm also not big on point and click. This is the demo for it. So this is, of course, subject to change. They could absolutely, when they go to full release, change a decent amount of this, and it may not be um, what it looks like, or there's going to be definitely like things that are going to be very different. I am interested. It's like you really can't do anything the first day. I guess it does make sense, but yeah, it really is a kind of a pain that you can't do much the first day. Oh no, there we go. Now I can do building. I will say this sound doesn't seem very consistent to where I set it, and it's just generally overly loud. Though it could be where I have my volume set. Okay, yes, I do want to start a new day. I do the morning chores, yep. Make sure that's full. And then hopefully now today I can actually do the town thing, because I have a feeling it's going to send me there anyways. Like, this is definitely more interesting than I don't know how I feel about this art style for a game that has a lot of the adult elements to it. And yeah, normally my channel is going to have a lot of equestrian based games. I do some stuff like Spirit of the North. I do some stuff like Assassin's Creed. But generally this is more or less what you're going to end up actually seeing on my channel. I do quite enjoy horses, but I also will say that I'm a bit picky with a lot of the stuff. It is nice to see a game that has the elements of actual like horse care and that sort of stuff. It is a bit more of a pain to have it be an art style that I normally wouldn't find myself as interested in. There are games that I'd like to see that have like a more like 3D art style, but with this, like all of this included. But right now there isn't really a good version of that yet. I'm assuming in time it'll get there, but yeah, right now, not as much. I really feel like that did not build as well as it was supposed to. No, you're fine, don't worry. Okay, so these actually don't give very much. Like, I spent so much to do the building for that and get so little back. Okay, I'm assuming I have missed something in here. I indeed have. There we go. Interesting. I do believe that said a competition license, so that's going to be something that must have to be tested for. I'm not a fan of the side scroller, but definitely could be a lot worse. Oop. Okay, so that's the daily training, which puts us back here. Okay, interesting. I did want to see if I could get the give a lesson thing to work. Okay, this is going to be interesting to see. Doesn't seem to work as well as they're assuming it works. Okay, there we go. That's why. I don't know why this is just a bit glitchy at times, but I'm actually not as surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for it to hand me something really wacky that's just super out of place. Now, I do know everything here is hand-drawn. I think was one of the things that the game did say was everything was fully hand-drawn. Okay, now here's we get into the more complicated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know a lot about how the mechanic for being able to add in custom assets is, but they do apparently
Mm-hmm.
allow there to be a certain level of custom uploads that you can put into the files yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think most of it's going to be in relation to like maybe saddle pads or
Mm-hmm.
um, like clothing, but I'll have to go look into it because I didn't see a
Mm-hmm.
lot about it when I was reading the demo page.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
And do I need to do any brushing and stuff? Nope, we're good. Okay. That is interestingly not complex or complicated, but just takes a minute to figure out what they're doing. Okay, so this is how we're going to be able to get more stuff, but it really is just the same stuff that we've seen. Yeah, I'm not surprised that there's not a lot available. I see the purple leg wraps, but don't see any um, purple saddle pads over that way. Okay, that's all black tack. Okay, there should be a feed store. Oh no, I guess that is the feed store. Okay. I'm really not a fan of the sound design, to be fair. But that's also good, being a little bit nitpicky. Okay, I don't think I need to fill that again. I think we're good on that. Okay. You did say something about training, which I assume... Okay, that gives me a little bit more of an idea. I'm assuming I'm gonna have to factor in energy. Oh, I didn't realize your message you got withheld. Sorry about that. I am not. I am a man. I am a trans man. I don't know why it held that back. That is super funny. And I'm gonna have to figure out. I think Twitch Auto did it because I do have some settings, but I'm assuming Twitch Auto did that. That's really funny. Okay, so yeah, there is a thing there about energy. Okay, that is what I was wondering. Um, I don't think there's really anything else I can do, and I can't afford much, so I think it's just going to be a case of... Oh. Yeah, I think it's going to be the same thing with exhaustion, exhaustion, though. Yeah, so it's not going to be able to do that. Okay, so definitely new day. Leave that just in case I accidentally click that in a way it's not supposed to be clicked. Leave it to me, that would happen. Is there a fourth anywhere? Okay, so I just have the training gold. Yes, I do have a Discord. It should be linked. Give me a second. See if the bot actually does the link properly. Oh boy, thank you, Jasper. I have been here the whole time. I do happen to be the streamer. You don't have to greet me when I say something in chat, buddy. Yep. Oh, nope. Those are the two things I have to do. Okay, that's interesting. The horse being 62 is a bit of, that's a new one. I wonder how that came to be. That is definitely not what I think it's supposed to say or what it's supposed to, give as an answer, but that's sure what it gives as an answer. Let's try this. Okay, so this is basically the same thing we started with.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's definitely, the mini games are definitely not bad. I do think they are, for the style, actually really nice. I will say it is a bit of a thing where I think my take on it. Can I give you a treat? Currently, no, I cannot. Make sure that's full really quick. They fit the style for sure, and they are pretty good from what I've seen for something very simplistic, which I think fits really well. Oop. Oh, I do wonder what that means. Do I have? I do. Okay, there we go. Nope, I can feed it directly to you. I don't know if I need to do another thing of grain, and out of curiosity, I'm going to do 2. Okay, So, yeah, if you were to actually overfeed them, it would give you some info on that. Okay, that's not bad. That is actually something it's nice to be like, okay, yeah, that's a thing. Try this instead of doing the training with the like rider that comes over and learns. See if I get more out of it or less. I think less a little bit. I won't get any money from it. That's the bigger thing. It does really remind me, and it sounds like so weird because it's probably gonna show my age a little bit. Bella Sarah, back when that card game had online games that you could play in your like browser, your internet browser, it reminds me a lot of that. Like there's certain little things in it that just are very, very much remind me of that, but I haven't seen that in years. Yeah, you're gonna find out Twitch won't let you use caps lock. I don't know the specific, and I'll give you a warning if you do it. Yeah, I haven't like it's fully shut down now. None of Belisara's stuff exists anymore. Um, like the browser is officially shut down. The only thing I've seen is people who've been able to actually find a way to bring back some of it, like some of the browser games, and republish them somewhat, but they aren't. Some of them aren't in their full format. Um, that's it. That's the only way that everybody's been able to do anything with it. I think the company officially like fully went bankrupt, is what I think I remember hearing, or something to that effect. And it no longer exists, which is so weird to me. Okay, so I can do that later. But yeah, it doesn't exist. None of the stuff for that game exists. Okay, I think I'm just going to do New Day, because I think we are out of energy. Yeah. But exercise anywhere, you're definitely going to be out of energy. Okay. We'll do the training then. Well, I might actually be able to do the competition. Underqualified. Okay. Interesting. That must be why it wants me to do get the training up. I can see endurance I need to mostly get up, so if I do this one. Oh. I forgot to groom the horse before I did this, but admittedly, we might be fine this this round to get away with it. I'm curious, just based on how realistic a lot of the rest of this is, I am very curious at how the genetics are going to play out. I did see a little bit of a preview on their Steam listing. It makes me think the genetics are going to be a bit better than I've seen, in the sense of how the random chance works, how the colors work, that sort of stuff, but it's definitely going to be a we'll see situation. What was the numbers needed to get it to? 45 in strength and 30 in endurance. Well, the endurance I think is slightly better than the strength is currently. Oh. Doing this actually... It gets me money, but it hurts the overall. Okay, interesting. Let's get all that cleaned up, get you fed, and then see. what I can do as far as training goes. Okay, I can definitely do more exercise. We're not too far on that. Then I can handle that, I think, and not get myself in too much trouble. Especially since I'll be doing more work. We're getting there, though. Huh, round 1 of 2.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
I will say it is interesting, though, that this is something that I
Mm-hmm.
think definitely reminds me of an older age of,
Mm-hmm.
like, they always ran in your browser,
Mm-hmm.
generally easy to play, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there was another one. I think
Mm-hmm.
the Pony Club, maybe, or something to that effect. It had a specific name. And they had their own game that also, like, worked through your browser. Now, there was a 3D kind of version of it, but it's that same, like, it reminds me of that age of games. Your hooves are good. That's at 48, and that's at 34, which I think... Okay, so now it wants me to do the trail ride. Which I do not have enough energy for today. But we got our training done. I don't think that's gonna... Oh wait, no. I got plenty of room, actually. Okay, let's try the trail ride. Yeah, amazing that we don't quite get as much of the benefit out of this, especially because this one at least has hills. But I'm also assuming this is where a little bit more of the exhaustion comes in. I'll have to do the lower trail the next time and see what it has. In theory, though... Okay, so... I have enough energy for that. That's a good start. The fact that it's like brooms and stuff, you can tell that this is really is like your first stable and you have nothing to your name. And you are doing your best with what you have. That brings in some other questions. Nothing with the hooves, I think we're good on all that. Not going to feed you more grain right now. Yeah, once I get a little bit lower, I think that'll be fine. I'm assuming, which we'll do, is we'll start a new day and try that. And see if it lets me do that one. But I think we can do our first competition now. That's fine for now. Ah, okay, interesting. So I have to build a little bit more to be able to get there. Well, I need to earn money, so... we're gonna have to do that. Nope. Ah, you don't have enough strength. Okay. I'm assuming you don't have enough for that? Yep. It really is just the weirdest version of Spot the Difference I think I've seen. Okay, so the first round is a tutorial round. After that, it is a lot speedier. That's going to give me more of the benefit that I'm actually looking for with this.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. I have to figure out what day I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there's 25, and I know the thing said that's enough to at least get more than one horse, I'm kind of curious how that's going to work out quest-wise. Okay, no upgrade in demo. That is available, but that's going to take earning a little bit more then. How are you energy-wise, actually? Okay, you definitely do more training. Or give lessons. All I can say is I hope we are actually helping this kid be a better writer. How are we doing on energy again? I think we're still pretty good. Yeah, we're still pretty good. I have to retrain again, but admittedly... I think this is just about the only way I'm going to be able to earn money until we get a little bit into the competition stuff. I'm gonna have to check again. Did the age change because it's days, or is it years? Okay, so it is actually days. Interesting. Well, for one, I do need to go to the store. Feed, I need grain. Where are your stats at? Okay, not bad actually. Do the transitions again, because I know that's gonna get me the most backup after losing some of that stat, or the strength and endurance stats to the daily lessons, which I think is interesting that you lose it. Okay, there we go. That should be that training lesson. Yep. And that just needs to be done, I think. Okay, so we can get borders now. Interesting. Okay, so you actually have staff, medical reports. Oh, you can also just do the build and upgrade here. That's a lot more convenient. I do like that they just dropped off the horse and the horse is in need of care. Somewhere between wherever they were and here. Hmm. Okay, you need that though. For sure. Okay. That's really interesting that it does just straight up tell you, okay, it's not your horse to work or stuff like that. Not available because this is a boarding horse. I'm assuming because it's part board and not full board. There we go. Okay, that gives me a little bit more of any idea of what's happening with these guys. I'm assuming I get at least a somewhat decent amount for doing all of this. Because basically they're just renting space. And care is needed. I gotta check the hooves of the other horse. I'll have to go do that really quick. Actually, your hooves are fine. I am surprised. There we go. Your hooves were not. Ah, okay, so that's how that's gonna work out. Okay, so it's 3 rounds. Oh, you can gallop. I don't know why I didn't realize that. Because I'm assuming time is going to be judged. Yet sound is very, like, for a demo, I'm not going to give it too much grief about it, but the sound definitely needs some work. Okay, interesting. So that's how that's going to work. I mean, 720 is not a bad amount, depending on how long they stay. It also gives me an idea of what horses are going to look like. Why are you guys coming in such, like, bad care? Okay, how are you with food right now? Oh, you definitely need more. Give you an extra for now and see if that goes down again the next day. Yours is actually not too bad. Oh, I'm curious, can I do... Okay, you can compete only once a day. That does make sense. It's about what I figured. I need to do the forest thing really quick. Okay, trail ride, small forest, and then I need to find an apple tree. Why are you exhausted? I guess you're not, but this could turn into exhaustion. I'm assuming if your horse is a bit doesn't have a lot of confidence, then that would have been a point where you could spook.
Yay!
Interesting. Okay, so that's getting you into kind of the mindset that you can pick up stuff on the trails if you're careful. Which is not bad. I do actually think that's really nice. Okay, so that trail is done for the day. Give you more feed in a second. Let's do this, and then we'll try to do a daily lesson as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I assume we're going to get more into the, like, other mechanics that we're going to see. But I do like the idea of having, because you are essentially supposed to build a good-sized stable, but eventually you are going to have borders, or like even this early on, as an extra form of getting like some sort of monetary value out of the property, because otherwise it's not going to end super well. Then I think there are still a lot of stables today that a lot of the money that they'll earn is through borders. Actually, where are your stats at? Okay, those days. What do you need for the next level of competition, though? Nope, I can do it. Actually surprised. Oop. That's the other thing I'd say I'm a bit curious about is the storyline here of like, we clearly have a decent amount of skill. This isn't like possibly our first time doing any of this, so. Okay, so yeah. Can be a little bit careful where I'm lining this up, but how do we know as much about writing as we are, or as we do, and how are we able to compete as easily as we are? Without at least more formal training? I guess I'm assuming we have formal training. So we're going with this. Yeah, actually no, we're good on that. It should be full. I'm assuming that's just going to finish when a boarder decides to leave. Otherwise, there's not much I can do. Ah, okay. So that's how we get that. This is just not available in the demo whatsoever. Oh, that's not work. I gotta do that first. You have the most annoyed face I have seen. Okay, so this is day 6. I do not know what I clicked in the background. There we go. Okay, so medical. So be careful with that one. But it is interesting that, yeah, we're going to have to deal with that as well. Okay. Okay, so we need to overfeed you slightly, I think. Because I have a feeling that's going to go down again. Very quickly. Yeah, you're the same way. You also have a cut. How did that happen? I wonder. I think it's random chance for kind of like teaching you that this is a thing, but at the same time, it's really funny to have 2 horses have it at the same time and be like, huh, why do I get the feeling that maybe, just maybe, we've found the one situation in which the game might be realistic enough to have us have to separate horses out. Nope, your feet are good. Let's see. No, I didn't mean to close that. Good to know I can, though. I wonder if that's why? It's because of the field? Yeah, I don't have to groom you at all. It's more just double checking that you're good. Yeah, yours is also hunger. Okay, so you want to close it before you start the next day. That's what's happened. Good for feed, not so great for anything else. I don't think I can do that one yet, because I think I have to... Oh wait, no, I actually do think I did do that, so I might be able to. Let's give it a try. Nope, underqualified. Okay, so yes, not able to do that. Okay, so it is the speed. That's what I was wondering. That answers that. Probably also jumping a bit late. But out of curiosity, it does seem like speed is going to factor in a little bit, which is good because that's something I think a lot of games also miss. Like there is a certain point where speed is going to factor into how you're jumping. Yep. Okay, so if you knock enough rails, it actually just doesn't count the training. It is good to know, though. I'm not surprised at the auto slowdown. That seems to happen every so often. It does make sense. Again, one of those things. No, that might be counted as too much. Oh, no. You're actually fine with it. Okay, perfect. Now I wonder if it'll let me compete. Yeah, this one I can definitely gallop just because I think the jumps are a little bit smaller and the horse is technically qualified enough. Yep. Okay, so that actually netted me a little bit better than last time because I actually won it. How are we in energy, though? We might be able to do a ride, but I would say best not to.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
There we go. Then it is a little bit more, which is not enough for... It is enough for that. Okay, perfect. Now close that before we start a new day so this doesn't happen again, where I wake up with a whole bunch of you injured. In the medium competition, okay. Okay, so one of you is really just a hard keeper. Full stop. I'm gonna have to overfeed you. Is it you? No, actually, you're doing fine. I should have checked for stones. And check you for stones, though. And hooves. There we go. Yeah. Overfeed you to make sure that you aren't hungry again. Yes, I'd be angry too if I had to groom around that spot. Let's see. Because I can't actually control that one's training whatsoever, so whoever's training them is supposed to be in charge of that. Which I think is what's currently happening a little bit, all things considered. Okay, open that now. Can I compete the medium one? No, not enough money. That's interesting. Let's try that.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. Is that enough to enter? Gotta time this right, because the first two I'm gonna want to canter no matter what. The next one I can gallop, and then after that canter again. Nope. Nope, that's gonna add a penalty. Oh, did not finish. Okay, interesting. So the lower end of training for something doesn't actually work as well. I think that took most of what I had for that. I definitely don't have room for a second horse either, though, because of the borders right now.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
I use this a little bit more. Train a little bit more because I'm not sure how I missed out on that one. I'm curious what was the veiling factor, and I'm wondering if it was just the endurance. Nope. A little bit too much on the gallop. Oh, okay, so confidence is actually factoring in. And you're gonna fight me a little bit on speed. That's interesting. Yep. Try that again. Let's see if I get sped up or slowed down again. I wonder why their confidence is... It can't be their confidence, because their confidence was doing really good. Well, I haven't been auto-sped up or slowed down yet. You're just hoping it doesn't happen at the like most inopportune time, but... Okay, there we go. I give you treats. But I can't quite... No, yes I can. I should be able to afford it. Here we go. I really do think it must have been the endurance. So I'll have to work on that a little bit more. I think you're pretty close to... Oh no, you can do... I'm careful. You can do one more training for the day and that might make the difference. Now you see how many more days the orders are here? Because I think... I don't think it was upfront payments, but I'll have to double check. Okay, there we go. Your hopes are good, but I always want to check. Close that for the second, and then I can check office, borders. Oh, you want it for schooling. One of them is one day, or here for one more day, I think, and then after that, I lose them, which is fine, it works out. Let's see. I think I'm good to start on a new day. Okay, so I need to double check my running costs a little here. Ah, there we go. That's actually healed entirely. That's perfect. Your hooves are actually still really good. I'm surprised. Okay, yours is healed as well. Your hooves are also good. Again, I am surprised. Both of you are just consistently hungry. I have a feeling, even though I've, like, put them towards the higher end of the green, the next time I go to check on them, it's not going to still be there. The next day. Well, one of them leaves today. At the end of the day, I think. Is if I'm reading that boarding thing correctly. Let's try this competition again once I have a little bit more money, because I am so confused as to what happened.
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
Okay, there we go. Let's see. Nope, that's on me. Oh, you can go back. That's right. I hit space instead of W, forgetting that W is this game's version of it. Nope, nope. There we go. Ah, that's what it is. The strength bar. If I gallop too long, I run out of it. Okay. Yeah, gotta gallop for that. Oh, I got a +1. I'm getting warned that I'm almost out of energy, meaning this is not going to be a good one. Gonna say, I don't think I earned any prize money from that one this time. Which is okay, because it gave me an idea of what happened the first time. This gave me an idea of what I need to work on with that.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I can style the mane and tail at all?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen anything about that yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I do see it styled when we compete.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep, don't worry, we'll feed you. Actually, how much energy do you still have left for the day? Oh, you've got plenty. I want to do the lower trail this one because I keep not doing it. So far, so good. Here, there wasn't really anything, so I'm assuming the other trail is the one that has more of the stuff that you can find. You should be fine. Oh goodness. Okay, yeah, so that's why you get so much from the one competition. So when it comes to the buy horses quest, it is going to be a little bit pricey. That one definitely is really nice. Maybe that one's going to take a bit of training. Probably be close to what I can afford, though. Huh. Some of these, like, I can definitely tell the color, and others I'm a little curious how the randomization has worked out. Also, why some of the names are randomized the way they are is super funny. Okay, it's actually cheaper to do that. That I'm not as surprised about, but it is interesting.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Okay, running cost is 5, 10, it's 15 for that, 5, and 5. Okay, so that might be where we ran into issues last time. So if I make sure I have enough running cost-wise, we should be fine. Let's see if that is correct. Yep. Okay, so our border left. That would be why. Perfect. If I want a second horse, I definitely don't want to add another border. I'm gonna find more hay bales. Probably 2 of them, I think, is what I'm gonna need. Actually, this is a lot slower of a demo than I was expecting, but it works out better than the alternative, which was me assuming it was going to be very quick. Like, Rancho Shine and a lot of other games like this have a timer. Like, the day is passing and you're just having to keep up. This, you're actually really choosing your day length. Like, there's not a lot that you can do for that day length unless you kind of stretch it out. but it is a lot better than I was expecting, and I am very pleasantly surprised. Okay, them I don't have to do anything with. There we go. Too bad I can't sell anything. We'll try to compete again. And hope. Definitely have to canter for parts of this. But I think I'm also maxed out for this horse for, I'm assuming it's strength. Yep. Nope, don't run, because we just need to get across. Even if it's a penalty, that actually did really good. I just need to eventually win it. I will take third, considering what we originally were getting. Do you think that's full? Okay, perfect. Now we give a lesson or two.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. Actually, strength and endurance are a lot better than they were. I'll do this really quick. Because I know that'll up the scores I need upped really quick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we are at 75, which is the max I can do for this horse on the strength.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which means I should still be okay winning that competition. I've just gotta A, not mess up, and B, figure out the timing of things, or have one of the competitions do a little bit better. Yep, your feet are actually still good. I wonder. Because I have that. I think the problem is if I do that, I have to have a secondary force, and I think that's what it's getting at.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mhm. 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 Mhm.
There we go on that. How are you actually doing on energy yet? Let's give another lesson.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
This way, if I eventually win that competition, I might actually have enough for
Mhm. Mhm.
another
Mhm.
horse when I want to try to get them.
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
There we go. Let's look at the bordering options here. So 8 days. I think if I find one that asks for schooling, or that I actually like compete and stuff with the horse, I get a little bit more out of it. I need to double check on you. Okay, you're still good feed-wise. I'm not leaving that open because the last time we did that, that was not a good idea. Okay, that is all of it. Get you groomed, and then I can work on seeing if I can compete with my horse. Hey, you're not hungry today, because I overfed you, and yet somehow you have still used up most of the feed I gave you. You're actually doing fine today, which is good. Do that. See if I can manage to get this done. And now we cannot gallop anymore, no matter how much I'd like to. Oh, I hope I don't flag out because of the jumps. Nope, actually we made it. Nice. Okay, so we did actually get it. Perfect, because that gives us, yep, the option to buy a second horse, which I'm assuming now they've rotated. Oh no, they haven't. That one's new though, so maybe the first one in line rotates out. Oh, you have actually really good stats. Your confidence is really low, though. I do know I want to bring a stallion into it because that helps a little bit moving forward for cheaper costs, but I need one that has really good stats. Which I think is going to end up being this horse. I'm assuming they're roan of some sort. It's going to end up being one of those two. Well, to be fair, I can't afford you, but I can afford you. Oh boy, you are a mess. That is definitely interesting. Take your endurance. So your max is a bit better. It's not that that is where your training is at currently, but that's fine because that's something it's easy enough to bring up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There we go. See, this is going to be more problem getting this one trained. Okay, well, let's try something easier. We definitely need to gain a bit of confidence first. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I will say the stopping and the flag does not help at all. Oh, nope, there we go. That's a bit better. Nope. You last minute did me right before we went through that gate. Buddy. And then before we go through that one, you stop. This is going to be interesting, and maybe you should have looked at that price just a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, oh, nope.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, it worked. That's the best I can give that one, is it did actually work that time. Confidence is getting better. Oh boy. This may not have been the easier option for trying to build a confidence. Why are we going backwards? Oh no. Oh, this is going to be an interesting one. I don't think there's anything spooky on the trail for the first trails. I know there is something on the second. I can't tell if that is going up or not. This is metaphorically and literally an uphill battle at this point. Okay, well my idea of hoping that this would be somewhat better for confidence. Not so much. Oh, come on, buddy. Really pretty horse, though. I'm super curious. I wish there was a way that I could see, from the horse's, like, page. That's something I'll have to see. Would really like to see the... I don't need the color written out, because that was the thing with, Branch River Shine that I will admit was like, okay, I like it, but what I'd like to see is a lot of the things, especially with this game, having a bit more of the emphasis on genetics. Actually just write out the gene color profile, because once you know how to read it, it's actually super simple, and it would give me a better like heads up of like if people want it in this game, want to do color breeding, it helps with that, but it also just gives me an idea of what color the horse is moving forward and that sort of stuff. So that'd be something I would definitely like to see. Yeah, we are not making it over that log, are we, buddy? Actually, we did. I am surprised. Well, it is working somewhat. That's the best I can give it. Just beginning to feel like one of those, horses outside of a grocery store or, like, area in downtown where you give it, like, a quarter, and it only goes for so long before it stops. It's about what this is feeling like. Then you have to give it another quarter. I'm gonna name him Quarter in a minute. Oh, come on, buddy. The end sign is right there. Well, we did actually gain confidence. I am somehow surprised. Hey, we gained a little bit more confidence. You're getting named Quarter. When I don't spell it wrong. Yeah, I'm definitely not using you as a lesson horse. I feel like that might actually do worse. I want to try this again. Okay, we're doing it a little bit better. Until he just decides to dead stop. Please don't stop in the middle of the flag. Well, he didn't stop in the middle of the flag. We're good on that account. Oh, buddy. I mean, at least you've gotten that one right. Okay, there we go. He's magically guessing what I need from the next flag before we get there. Right until he dead stops. Well, we got 5 confidence. That's better than where we were at. Make sure you actually clean. Yep, confidence, endurance. Yep. I'm so curious. Can I, now that I have the thing... So is it competing or that? Because I can definitely do that the next day. So there's that. Okay, one of these borders leaves soon-ish. Like one of them, today's their last day. I don't need another bucket of water, that's perfect. Here's the missing one. Actually, hooves. Yep. There we go. Go ahead and already collect on you, you're good. I forget that they move when you return. After clicking away and then returning to the stable. You're actually doing fine. Let me guess, you are more hungry again today. Give you that. Open that for now. There we go. That is the highest combination one. Okay, that works. Yeah, I say that straight up just says not included in demo, so I know we've gotten to the end of that one. Ah, okay, so new stuff is available in the store. That's kind of what I was waiting for. So this is in combination with a shirt? That it is. They're definitely not my favorite version of that. I think the bridles I have are fine for now. That actually wasn't as much as I was expecting. So that's good. Yeah, I think that's everything. How do I change tack? Ah, here we go. Okay, so how do I change? Aha. Okay, so now I definitely need to work with this one again and hope. Actually, that went really smoothly, all things considered. I don't think that's gonna stick, though. We're gonna have a hiccup here somewhere. Yep, there we go. He sped up on his own. And slowed down on his own. Oh. Well, actually, he was doing quite good there on his own until right about that point. Please don't decide to slow down. Oop, buddy. Okay. Nope, he did stop. Middle of the gate. We are getting there, though. I'm like hitting the key multiple times because I'm just so used to this particular horse not listening, and then that's the one time he listens to every single cue and actually like stops perfectly. Same here. Man, they really give you like the sweetest, most confident horse to begin with. And if you're not careful, your second horse is a lot different. Okay, let's see. Will you be able to do walk, trot, canter just fine? Well, you had the walk thing down. There we go. Okay, I'm still getting fought every so often. Let's try to repeat that one. There we go. Hopefully we actually make all of them this time. Maybe? Oh, he auto sped up. Can you get it? Oh, nope, that was actually perfect. Well, his confidence is getting a lot better than it was. I think that's the big thing. His strength is getting there. Confidence is a lot better. Okay, this is going a lot better. I think there's jumps up here if I remember right now. That I had clicked on the other one because now, yeah, there's no jumps on this one. I will say one of the things that's a bit odd. I like the style, but one of the things I think I do dislike just a tiny bit is the overfilled lines or the overcolored lines. Like you see it on the ears up here, and some of the hoofs. There's like little spots where color's missing, or it's overfilled a little bit. I still think it looks nice. Again, I will say this is just not my art style generally, but I think that for some reason that bugs me because I can see just little specks where you can kind of see through some of the lines and stuff and see like the sky or other things behind it. It's a bit funky. I don't think I want to... Actually, I probably should compete because I think that's one of the main ways I get money. It says you were done for the day, so it's either compete or do that. It means I can give lessons. So far, so good. Perfect.
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
Hey, that worked out really good. Your strength's down a little bit, but that's easy enough to, I think, do like that. It really is night and day between these two horses.
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
Okay, that should have brought that back up. Yep, perfect. I think that's about all I can do. You say you don't have enough confidence, I think, for any of that. I give him 2 lessons. I think I lose a border. Huh. Okay, that's interesting. I also think I left the field open, so that might have been part of it. It is interesting that that is something that can accidentally happen. And sucks though too, because I did end up losing out a little bit. That is probably the funniest notification to start the next day too, of like, oh yeah, no, shoot, I left a gate open. Worst thing to happen as far as leaving a gate open, but well, we'll see what happens with that in a certain amount of time, I guess. The thing is, I also know exactly how it happened. Looking at the horses that are currently here, but also that is super funny. Well, I need to get another border. You need it for 9 days. How are your feet, actually? Yep. That sounds about right for that one. Your feet? Also not great. Did I check your feet? Okay, yes, yours were fine. That is really funny, and I did not think about that. The sense that I don't have
Mhm.
separated fields.
Mhm.
I don't know, buddy. this was a little bit too, Oh no, you're doing fine now. So maybe this was a little bit too challenging with the confidence that you have so far. But no, we're doing okay. Okay, so maybe a little bit challenging for the confidence. He wants to speed up every so often. I would have to make a clip of that. That is the funniest thing that could have, like, legitimately possibly happened. Hey buddy, I need you to walk, please. Oh, oh, you were doing so good. Okay, there we go. And we start hitting the auto slowdown problems again. Wonder if I've missed too many. Oh no, I've only missed one. Should be fine. Okay, perfect. Okay, his confidence is doing a lot better than it was. Okay, so that raises confidence a bit, which is actually quite nice. Might give you a tiny bit more feed. I'm worried. I want to do the jump training, but I'm a bit worried this isn't going to go as well. Oh no, we're doing okay. Hopefully this helps raise his confidence. I'm a bit worried it might not. Might make it worse if we start hitting rails. Oop. Yep, that is exactly what has happened. Actually, we still earned a couple points of confidence, so not bad. Just have to make sure my timing is right. Yeah, definitely not as bad as when I hit rails and accidentally knock some confidence points. Or at least I just assumed not get awarded them. Yeah, there we go. The endurance is getting there. His strength is actually almost where it needs to be. I'm pleasantly surprised with that. Let's see. Oh, I need to do the lessons. I definitely need to do the lessons. Okay, there we go. It was right in that transition, but I think it probably was wrong originally, and then I hit it right when it transitions, which tends to, oh, whoops. That's interesting, so if I hit the back arrow instead of the confirmation, I actually lose out on the reward. Okay, good to know. Okay, there we go. Let us a little bit more. I wonder if I can do... Because I got more than enough strength and as I train strength to get his endurance up at the same time. I'm going to have plenty of extra anyways. So I'm not too worried about that stat in particular with this. He's actually doing a lot better than expected. I might switch out attack colors though, because I have an idea. I need to find a darker purple. Oh, I want that. To be fair. There we go. Because I can switch the purple to this one. Out of curiosity, there was a red bonnet that I had missed the first time. Whoops, sorry buddies. Didn't mean to somehow directly hit the gate without meaning to. Oh yeah, that's a much better color for him. I'll do that since I'm mostly training him for competition now. So I've kind of got her stats to really the furthest I can get him. Oh yeah, I like that purple a lot better. There we go. I think we're good on stats again. Yep, perfect. Okay. I'm gonna regret that probably. Yeah, I'm curious about the sound design, but the other thing is there's not a slider bar specific to like vocal sounds or certain sound effects. And I'm kind of surprised because the only two slider bars there are sound effects and music. It's like you need different sound effects definitely need different slider bars because it's not all evened out. It's not, in my opinion, I can't isolate something that's a little bit too loud and push it down further than it like what it actually needs to be. And then like the competition music itself is also kind of extra loud and it needs to be kind of in line with the rest of the music. Like it's all over the place because I think it's technically a sound effect and have the sound effects just a little bit higher than the music. So it's definitely not equalized as much as it could be, which is funky. Can I train you more? Hang on. As much as I want to. Okay, it's just going to give you more strength than anything, regardless of what I feel you need more of. I'm just going to have to kind of go with it. But at least his confidence is up a lot further. It was not doing so hot when it was as low. I might be at a competition level for the strength, but I don't think I'm there with the endurance yet. I think the only way I can try this is to this course, and then I can compete tomorrow at the first level and see how we do. Admittedly, I kind of overdid him today, and I don't know what happened there. Nope. I've knocked his confidence, that's for sure. Because now we're having a little bit of the gate changes, and they're not convenient. Okay, buddy. Oh, you're still good. How are you on food? Actually, not on that bad. You are very dusty again. I have so many questions how you're doing this. Your health is good. That's at 60 something, and that's at the 93. Okay, so that's really not bad. We might actually be able to compete. Nope, I do need to feed. Actually, check yours. Yours is honestly good. Yours is a little high because maybe we didn't do as much work, so I need to be a little careful of that. Nope. Definitely slow down with you a little bit. Nope, we're just not having a good time with the jumps. There we go. Don't think will be a win today. Nope. Which is okay. It's still a good check-in and a start. Oh, wait, I can open that. Definitely need to go to the shop and buy a little bit more. But I'll end on this day once I get... Let's do that first, because then I can go from there. Okay, so I can't get more. What I have, I'm assuming it's a issue with how much room I have for stuff, and it's coming down to once I'm able to actually upgrade, that'll change a bit. That's my best guess.
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
There we go, not too bad.
Mhm. Mhm.
So far, at least.
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
Okay, we've earned a bit there. Make sure I train the source again,
Mhm.
just to make absolutely sure I'm not losing out on stats. I don't know how stats are going to work with breeding. I'll have to look into it.
Mhm.
The fact that our water trough is a really old tub is
Mhm.
somewhat concerning.
Mhm.
I can't wait to see what the actual stable upgrades look like. Like, I'm actually wanting to
Mhm.
lay more of this than just what the demo has to offer, because I'm
Mhm.
very, very curious.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like, this will definitely be something I'll play, maybe possibly stream. Oh. That was on me on that one. Because I've done quite a bit of training with you, and I haven't double-checked the stats. We'll do second round.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I'm actually super curious to
Mhm.
see how the storyline and stuff will go. Like, I have very small nitpicks aside from like the art style.
Mhm.
In fact, it's a my brain is not working very well right now.
Mhm.
Very side scrollery,
Mhm.
which is something it's not
Mhm.
my particular
Mhm.
favorite style, but otherwise it's actually really good. Like, regardless of that, I'm having fun with this. Okay, no, your stats are fine. Your endurance is still what we're working on. We'll try this, and I'll try the show jumping license for the 3rd level and see what it says.
Mhm.
I mean, you can tell me no, and that is fine. I think it would just give me an idea that I need to work on it more
Mhm.
and get the endurance up a bit better.
Mhm.
And at least gives me kind of a spot to start from.
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
We'll try the show jumping training. Hey, it did actually let me do it, so maybe. Nope. Well, there we knocked our confidence a little bit. Am I too far back? Okay, for 2 of those, yes. Here we go. That was too far forward, but at least I have an idea here. Oh yeah, we have failed this one again. Oh, that's actually working out. Was working out slightly better. Yeah. The last one has to be a canter, no matter what, I think. Definitely not quite ready for that one, and need to get a little bit more confidence back. Let's check on you. What is your feet like? Okay, your feet is actually still quite good. Maybe a tiny bit more. I think otherwise we're pretty good where you want energy. I could technically do a trail ride or do more training, but I'm gonna ooh, I do need to maximize it though. As much as I can get out of it.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We had just built his confidence back up and then immediately missed a flag. But actually that did fine. Where are your stats? 74. Okay, yeah, that's actually perfect. That's closed. Okay, yes, start a new day. Oh, that's one border gone. Office borders. Part board, okay. I mean, it works. Means a little less I have to do, but this means I have to be a little bit careful. Yeah, part board means that this person's gonna do all the grooming and stuff. I don't have to worry about it as much. But for right now, because this is kind of like the normal about 2.5 hour point, as much as I'd like to get to day 25, I'm not going to do that just in one go, and I'll probably play this a couple times and kind of get my thoughts about it before I do a public review for it on Steam or anything that way. Um, Overall, I do actually quite enjoy it. I do enjoy the content of it. I do like that there's a bit more of a realistic focus with some things, including like the genetics, including like the oops, that can happen kind of thing. Where if you have a stallion and you accidentally leave all the horses in the pasture and you're boarding a mare, suddenly now the mare is getting picked up because you didn't really think it through kind of thing. But um, coming from a place where every horse game that you see currently now tends to be very kid friendly in regards to this sort of stuff. And I think this is to an extent is still very kid friendly, but it's not. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say here. It doesn't feel as like not. I don't want to say censored because it's not censored so much as it's not dumbed down to a point of like I think there is a very good comment that's been made before of like, is it an actual horse game or is it a game that has meat motorcycles? And there's a huge point where there's some games that definitely comes across as yes, sure, there's horses in it, but what you're not like actually doing anything particularly realistic. This feels a bit more realistic. I am enjoying it for that regard. Um, there's a lot of stuff that like I said, I quite enjoy. The genetics seem to be pretty good. I am liking the realism with like you have like having different injuries and having to think about it, having to have the pasture and stuff. I don't know how I feel about the farm being as run down as it is, in the sense that I feel like this would be a walking case for someone to come in and tell you you can't have horses anymore, kind of thing. But that's again another little nitpick, and there's a lot of games that do start this way, so I'm not going to give them too much grief on that regard. Um, that sort of stuff does seem fine. Uh, yeah, there's just a few really small nitpicks, but again, that's mostly just small dislikes I have. I think the one nitpick that it feels a little bit more like, okay, this needs to be fixed is I'd like to see the actual genetics, the genetic like gene pairs for color. I'd actually like to see the name and the color. Otherwise, if that's not available or is not something they're gonna add, so I kind of have an idea with horses and stuff, because there's people who are going to take this game um, and try to go for rare colors, and that's something that I enjoy doing with some horse games in the background, just to see if it's possible and how it works. Be something interested. Just some of the stuff with like, okay, um, maybe a tiny little bit more. A lot of things are explained in the sense of go look in this corner and you'll find it, and that maybe isn't exactly the easiest way to find it. It'd be a little bit better to have some on-screen prompts like you normally see for games where they have an arrow or they highlight that section and have it appear. Like that'd be a little bit nicer for really small things. That's the first time you're having to do that. I think otherwise it's really good. Again, it's going into this is a bit hard because it's not my style of game, other than the fact it has horses included and it's fairly realistic with them. But with that in mind, the content is good enough that it's something I'm going to play regardless of me not liking the style. I want to see this eventually in more horse games, like the realism that this one has attached to it. But with that in mind, this is really good for the realism aspect, and it's something that you can put a little bit of time into. It's still cozy, it's still fun, and it's not too like overly realistic either, where I think some people in a 3D setting could get just a little bit too far into the realism with some things. This is a little bit more in that like nice middle ground. But it's also something that if you have kids who really want to get into horses and like you're a parent who may or may not buy one, this might be a good way to kind of get your kid kind of seeing how this stuff is run. Like this is such a basic version of it, but kind of get them started on some of these like things that you have to think about. But then again, I'd also say there's parts of this that maybe aren't as kid friendly. And I don't think it's meant for very young kids. I think it's probably meant for like tweens and teens, and adults, because again, I think there is some content in here that's probably a little bit more adult based. That said, though, I do still think it's a really good game, and I can't wait to see this go from um, demo to full release. I do know that there isn't a date set, I don't think, for that. The only other game that's coming out that's going to have some really good genetics and some stuff is the one that's coming out in March, which is the Legend of Kimori. That one's going to be having some good stuff in it, but I also think, if I remember right, the person who worked on Legend of Kimori also has been working on this. I think. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to go back and double check that, but I do think the person who's been working in the Legend of Kimori has also been working on this, and that's why there's some things here where I'm like, oh, this seems a bit like familiar, and why these two are coming out about the same time, I think. But again, I have to double check that. That being said, I do still really think it's good. I will play more of this in my off time and kind of get to that day 25, and then kind of also restart it and see, can I maximize it? You know, can I, knowing what I know through the first playthrough, the second playthrough, can I do a lot better and like avoid some of the mistakes I've made the first time, or is it kind of like you're going to make those mistakes just because it's the kind of the way it's set up, that sort of stuff? So anyways, I will see all of you later. It's a really long-winded way of saying that. I am sorry that last week there was not streams. I don't know what the sinus issue I have is, but it has been plaguing me for multiple weeks now, so that's great. And like I said, I think it's tied to the weather. Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, the normal streams should be going on, and it's going to be Spirit of the North, because again, I said I would finish that game, and then because Legend of Kimori is still decent ways out, I think, at this point, we'll probably do a little bit of Subnautica, and then I'll pause Subnautica because Legend of Kimori is going to be out. Get all that situated to get it done. But yeah, this was actually really fun. I don't mind it in the sense of like style and stuff as much as I thought I would, but I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. It was really fun, and I actually can't wait to play a little bit more of this once it's out.